Hello, and welcome. I am Exit Light, and this is my channel. Today, we are going to talk about cold case kidnappings. Those cases which are technically still open, but haven't had any clues for a long, long time. I'm going to bring some of those to your attention. But before we get started, if you would please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. If you are not subscribed, please do so, and you will be notified every time my content goes live. And here we go. Also, if you would like individual videos on these cases, or if you have certain ones that you would like individual videos on, so we can go into an even more deep dive into this particular case, please go ahead and let me know in the comments. Our first one is Janice Pocket. In July of 2018, it was the 45th anniversary of Janice Pocket's disappearance. Many people in her Holland, Connecticut town gathered together in her memory. Her older sister still remembers the day that Janet went missing, as does her cousin and many others. According to Hartford's Current, it's hard for people to forget that day in July of 1973, when Janice, who was then a mere 7 years old, disappeared. By all reports, she was a happy little girl, 7 years old, adventurous, and riding her bike. And that's what she was doing. She was on a bike ride, according to many witnesses, and she never came back. She was never seen again. According to the Current, her older sister recalled going out with her mom and calling her sister's name over and over again. Nothing. Her bike was found less than a mile from her home, and a Connecticut police officer commented that she must have been, quote, snatched on the way back home. The Connecticut State Police initially investigated this case, which has been reopened repeatedly, and it remains the lead agency on the crime. Janice's story has been featured on Discovery Network's Dark Minds, and a Janice Pocket Missing Since July 26, 1973 Facebook page contains some more related information if you're interested in going to look at that. Our next one is Angela Hammond. Angela was 20 years old and 4 months pregnant when she disappeared from Clinton, Missouri in April 1991. According to the website Unsolved, she was last said to be talking on a payphone to her boyfriend outside a grocery store about 11:45 p.m. This is a very interesting subject. I have actually done a video about this case. It is in a playlist, or search my videos for Angela Hammond. It is very unusual, very strange. The details indicate that she told her boyfriend that a pickup truck pulled into the parking lot with a grimy looking white man inside. Not much later, Angela's boyfriend heard her screaming, so he got in his car, his truck, rushed to where she was, where the payphone was, and passed the pickup truck that she had described. He heard his girlfriend yelling Robbie out of the window as he passed by, so he turned around and he followed the truck, and then his transmission died 2 miles into the chase, and she was never seen again. Angela went by the name Angie, and her case has never been solved. The Angela Hammond Facebook page is devoted to her, and the Clinton Police Department is available to take any details you might have. Our next one is Allison Dalton. It's been over 25 years since Allison, who was then just a baby, disappeared from her mother's Strasburg, Virginia apartment, but detectives are never giving up hope. In July of 2017, the Virginia State Police Department issued a press release along with a photo composite of the infant that went missing, saying it is still looking for leads in her case. There was a lot of gruesome information released about this case. just not what happened to the baby. It is known that Allison's mother, Selena Jo Dalton, who was then 20 years old, was found brutally stabbed to death in the apartment that she shared with Allison and her own mother. In 2001, Selena's mother filed a wrongful death suit against Allison's former boyfriend, Daniel E. Pompey, who she said was the child's father and she believes is responsible for the kidnapping. That information is on a website called Let's Find Them. The Connecticut State Police say that Pompey has not been exonerated as a suspect and continues to work with the Strasburg Police Department to seek clues and new information. The Forgotten Cases Facebook group has helped keep her and other missing person stories alive and raise awareness about their disappearance. Our next one is Kim Soo Leggett. In 2012, the FBI released aerial photographs related to the disappearance of Kim Soo Leggett to KGRV.com, a Rio Grande Valley, Texas news station. The Monitor reports that in 1994, Kim, who was then a 21-year-old wife and mother, was abducted from her place of work at a Texas cotton gin. Soon after Kim's abduction, her father received a ransom phone call and a ransom note a few days after that. But that was the last they have heard. The ransom note appeared to be written in Kim's own handwriting and asked for $250,000. That investigation was handled by the Mercedes Police Department and may have been botched, but not deliberately. An investigator has told KGRV believing Kim may be dead. The Texas Department of Public Safety placed her in its top 12 Texas Rangers Unsolved Homicides website in 2013. The FBI and Hidalgo County investigators continue to seek information related to this case. Our next is Tammy Lynn Leopard. Tammy Lynn Leopard has been missing since July of 1983 when she disappeared from Brevard, Florida. She was 18 years old. Tammy was a model who specialized in swimsuit wear and had won more than 300 beauty contests by the time she was 16 years old. She may have been 3 months pregnant at the time of her disappearance, and a male friend said he last saw her dropping her off outside a Cocoa Beach bank following an argument. There were also indications that she was having problems in her home. Christopher Wilder, a man linked to rapes and murders of women in the area, was a suspect, but police were never able to connect the two, and Wilder died in a shootout with police in 1984. The Cocoa Beach Police Department remains the investigating authority on this case and can be reached with any new details. Britney Beers. Britney Beers made the news again in 2012, but not in a way anyone would ever hope for her. September 2012 marked 15 years since the then 6-year-old went missing outside of an apartment complex in Sturgis, Michigan. According to the Sturgis Journal, she was last seen sitting on a bench at about 8:45 p.m. outside of her family's apartment complex. Witnesses say that Britney was talking to a man. A red or brown car was described as a vehicle of suspicion in the 1997 crime. A detective with the Sturgis Police Department most recently told WSBT that the girl was probably no longer alive, but that there was always hope. The case remained open as of 2012, with Sturgis Police receiving and following up on more than 1,000 tips over the years. In 2015, Daniel Furlong admitted to S.A.ing, strangling, and dumping the body and bicycle of Jodi Perrick in 2007 in a cemetery in Constantine, Michigan, where her mother found her. He was later labeled as a person of interest in Britney Beers' case after DNA from Perrick's body and clothing matched the DNA swab from a 10-year-old girl he had abducted in White Pigeon, who broke free after being tied up with extension cords at knife point. As part of a plea deal for these crimes, in 2016, Daniel Furlong agreed to take a polygraph test about the Beers case, in which he said he did not kill Brittany Beers. The Sturgis police are not done questioning him, but he can't be forced to take a second polygraph test. At 65 years old, Daniel Furlong was sentenced to 30 to 60 years in prison for second-degree murder charges. So, if you have any information, even the tiniest thing that you think maybe doesn't count, maybe you overheard a conversation with your uncle and somebody, or your grandpa and somebody, or a neighbor about something, but you didn't think anything about it at the time, or you didn't think it really mattered. Well, those things are what solve cases. So if you know anything about these cases, or think that there might be some small detail that could be used, please call and give the information to the FBI or the police departments. Thank you for coming to my channel, and good night.